Well, hey there, y'all. Come on in, kick off your boots, and stay a while. Hit that bell and subscribe so you're always part of our farmhouse family. Welcome into the farmhouse, y'all. Today we're going to make an apple cider latte, and I got these really cute glasses from Hobby Lobby for super duper cheap. They were on sale. I did go back to Hobby Lobby today as well, and they still had more. So you're going to need like a roll of toilet paper or paper towel. This came off of a fabric roll. I'm trying to think where that came off of exactly. Then you're going to need to cut a circle that's a little bit smaller than like around your cup in the inside. You're going to need some classic caramel from Apple Barrel. I have my dried fruit that also came from Amazon, and I will attach that in the descriptions. Some cinnamon sticks, and of course your lightweight spackle. I use Red Devil. That's just the one I prefer, and I get that off Amazon, and I will also have that linked as well. You're going to need a tip, icing tip. Obviously you're going to need an icing bag, and we are going to get started. So make sure that you always stir up your spackle very, very good, because it's super dry when you first open it up. So get out what you're going to use, and then make sure you stir that very well. And then we're going to add in our paint, which is going to be classic caramel from Apple Barrel. Squeeze you some on in there and give that a really good stir, making sure that all of it is covered with color. I wanted to add a little bit more. And then I go with a few drops of Territorial Beige and just add a little bit into this as well. You want like a paint. Some people also add in Mod Podge, because when we try to push this through our icing bag and tip, it's really hard when it's the dry consistency that it is whenever you first get it out of the container. So putting in the paint and or Mod Podge just really helps to be able to squeeze it out of our icing bag, and to be able to feed it through that tip. I stirred the hay out of this, y'all. Oh, there's my Territorial Beige. So now we're going to take our mug of whatever your choice, and you're going to want to put some of this down into the bottom and cover your bottom first, and then we're going to start coating the sides. So you want a good coat around the sides, but don't go super heavy. We're not going to fill this whole thing up, because if you do, honestly, it's just wasted product. So we're going to just do the sides. Now, also an additional tip, if you don't like to mess with spackle, things like that, you can also just paint the inside of your cup. So you could take your Apple Barrel and just paint a couple layers on the inside of your cup. There will be like some little bubbles on the side of your glasses and stuff, so just really keep moving your glass around to make sure that you're filling in all those spots. I love this project. Without filming, I mean, you can have it done in 15-minute top. Like, super, super easy and quick. The longest thing is just, letting it dry overnight. So, really cute, simple project. So now this roll, it's like the tool you get from Dollar Tree. That's where mine came from. Michael's and Hobby Lobby carry just like plain rolls. I save my toilet paper rolls. You can save your paper towel rolls. So you want to cut this down to size to where it's just below the lip of your cup. And this is what we're going to use to fill the inside of this glass, so that way it takes up some of that space and holds up our cardboard topper, to where we don't have to use, product all in the cup. So that is the reasoning for the tube, and then the reasoning for your circle cutout, cardboard cutout. So then you're going to glue your cardboard cutout onto that piece. Make sure your cutout is a good bit smaller than the inside top of your cup. That way you can get just a little bit of spackle like in between your cup and that cardboard piece. If you get it just right and snug, then it's going to push what spackling you have down. And then there's really no way of going back and fixing that unless you take your cardboard stuff out. Now this is an ice cream scoop that I made like a week ago, and I've just been having it sitting there. So I decided just to use that. This is going to help prevent your whipped cream or whatever it is you're using from caving in. So you can use a foam ball, cut a foam ball in half and use that. You can even crumble up paper and just glue it in the middle. But I had this ice cream scoop sitting there and it wasn't my favorite, so I just decided to use that. And then we're just going to go around it and put us down a little coat of that spackle. And when you get your spackling, y'all make sure that it is lightweight spackle. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. I hope that, maybe you've learned something from it and that I inspire you to make something just as beautiful. So we're just feeding our tip down into our icing bag. This was not the tip I wanted to use, but I could not find my tip. And this step, y'all, is a lot easier if you use a cup. Set your bag into a cup and then fill it. But I didn't have a cup around me, so I just did it this way. But it is easier if you sit it into a cup. And then you're going to push all of that down, get the air out of it. Make sure it's, going into your tip and not around the outside of your tip. I've had that happen to me before, and it was so frustrating. I ended up having to pop the bag and just dig it all back out. And then we're just going to go around and apply this. Again, this was not the tip that I wanted. I couldn't find it. I did go to the Hopster Lobster today to get it because I don't know what happened to it. So we're just going to go around as much or as little as you want. We're going to sprinkle that with some cinnamon while it is still wet. And add us a cinnamon stick. We're going to add our apple cider donut that we made several days ago. I will put the link. And then our dried apple in there. And I think it's adorable. I put a little tag on it. And that really pretty fabric that I got from a girlfriend she sent to me. And I just think it's adorable. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope you have a fabulous day and you come back and watch more of my tutorials. If you have any questions, by all means, please always ask. I hope to see you guys on the next one. God bless.